The National Orientation Agency, NOA, National Council of Women Societies, and Heir Women Hub have carried out a sensitization walk in Abuja to end gender-based violence in the country. The walk took participants from the NOA headquarters to Old Parade Ground in Gariki, Abuja. Mrs. Esther Ako, the Deputy Director in the Department of Public Enlightenment and Mass Mobilization of the agency, said the walk is a round of activity for the agency's 16 days of activism on gender-based violence.
This is our round-off activity for the 16 days of activism, and these are our NOA partners and our staff who are gathered here for the road show. Our call is that if you see something, you say something. Our culture of silence should be stopped. We want people to speak out, not to keep silent when they see all these issues of gender-based violence like female genital mutilation, spousal battery, child marriage, sexual harassment, and the rest of them. We should unite and fight and speak against gender-based violence in any form.
Mr. Anthony Romosele, Special Assistant and Partnership in Programs to NOA's Director General, said the walk lends a voice to the millions of people around the world advocating for an end to gender-based violence.
As National Orientation Agency, today marking the Human Rights Day, we are joining our voice among those in the world to advocate for the end of GBV, which also includes female genital mutilation. We are also lending our voice to say no to bullying, no to sexual harassment of all forms, and we hope that everybody worldwide, both women and men, girls and boys, learn to speak out. This is not time to remain in silence. We are advocating and lending our voice for everybody everywhere to speak up. When you see something, say something. Join everybody to put a stop to that, because that is the way we are going to put a stop to gender-based violence. Our advocacy is not stopping here. So we are going to also continue to speak about it, speak against it, and also to use our various social media handle, use our various platforms to sensitize the public.
Executive Director of Heir Women Hub, Ms. Issa-Onilu, urged government to ensure effective implementation of policies and programs concerning gender-based violence.
We need to put more action behind our words, so the government must take us more seriously. We cannot continue to be the country with the highest number of unsafe environments in the entire world. Nigeria is a beautiful place, but we have to stop and end violence. If you look at the data speaks against us as a nation. The violence against women and girls is high in our country. Our country, Nigeria, is having the highest number of out-of-school children. Female genital mutilation still goes on in our country. Sexual harassment at workplaces still goes on in our country. Sex for grades still goes on in our country. And we have policies, we have legislation that is already in place. So the government, you need to take us seriously and act now, because it can happen to anybody.
More so, National Council of Women Societies Program Officer restated the need for victims of violence and sexual abuse to not stay quiet.
We all know that gender-based violence is a violation of human rights, and we are not taking it for granted, and there is no excuse whatsoever, for violation. So what we're telling women is to speak out. This is time to speak out. Don't close your mouth anymore. Speak out. When you see something, say something and do something.
One of the participants called on school authorities to set up security apparatus to checkmate issues of gender-based violence in tertiary institutions of learning.
The school authorities will make sure that they set securities as to monitor the students to avoid them being victims of rape.